Chapter 5, Section 2, let us analyze with our common sense to confirm the fact as revealed in Quran that Kalimat Thayyibah has only one meaning by adopting certain formula containing the lingo specific to it in the diagnostic scriptures called Usul Biki. The religious revelations in the Quran has many types of sentences. One of them is referred to as a Nalmulahiru. Description of Nalmulahiru. This refers to a sentence pattern that does not follow the sequence of the meaning underlying in the Quran, though the whole meaning is clearly understood and expressed. This pattern is called Nalmulahiru. As per this description, kalima cannot be of this type. This cannot be understood by the ignorant tummies. Hence revelations expressing description of Tawhid has to follow a direct sentence pattern in keeping with the sequence of meaning. This is a necessity or wajib. Thus Kalimat Thayyibah is not of the Nalmulahiru type. Description of a Nasu. This is a sentence pattern that provides its meaning transparently and very clearly, but also accommodates a special note called a Thaccessu and compulsory supplementary note called a Thevilu. This sentence is called Nasu. Kalimat Thayyibah does not belong to this group, nor could it be so. This is because there is the additional factor: the inclusion of Thaccessu and Thevilu cannot be taken to explain Tawhid and stabilize it. This too is ignorant to the illiterate tummies. Hence, the kalima is not of this type. Description of a Mubasri. This is a sentence that gives direct and transparent meaning without the assistance of compulsory supplementary note Thevilu, but is changed by another sentence called Mansuk. This sentence is called Mupasru. Kalima would not come under or belong to this type. Should not be so. This is because Mupasru is being changed by another sentence. We cannot stabilize Tawhid until on the last day by the usage of this sentence pattern that changes Kalimat Thayyibah. Hence, the kalima would not be of this type. Description of a Muhkam. This is a sentence pattern that will not accept compulsory supplementary meaning called Thevilu, giving forced meaning, nor by Mansuk, changing. It will be a sentence that would be complete, clear, concise and transparent and would be quickly understood by the ummis. This type of sentence pattern is called Muhkamu. The sharth or conditions of Muhkamu are as follows: 1. The subject matter of it must be very transparent. 2. The sentence pattern must have the same sequence as its meaning. 3. There is no place for the inclusion of compulsory supplementary note Thevilu. 4. There is no place for Thaccessu additional note. 5. There is no place for Nusk change. 6. The principle of Live-Oneness, voicing of it, would give the intended meaning. 7. The principle of Live-Oneness, that is the significance of it, would also give the actual meaning that was expressed or voiced. 8. It should express the intended meaning, so that the ignorant tummies to understand. One should understand the meaning of it though his knowledge accept or reject. If all the above conditions are fulfilled, then that particular sentence is classified as Muhkamu. Hence sentences appearing in the Quran and Hathees in the name of Tawhid would undoubtedly belong to the Muhkamu type, having a single specified meaning. This is wajib. Hence, we have now fully understood that the basis of religion, that is kalima, is of the Muhkamal type of sentence as revealed by God, is factual and truthful. The ayah in Quran says that a Rasul has been sent by Allah from amongst the ummis, hence the ummis cannot dispute it. It is to reiterate the above, that Rasul, Sal, made public the revelations of kalima and to confirm the same recited Ahu Allah. He is the beginning and the end, He is everywhere, He is omnipotent. omniscient, omnipresent and other similar ayahs. As all these have been revealed after the revelation of the kalima, they too are of the makamu type, having only one specific permanent meaning. This is because the thalil that is given to support makamu must also be a makamu type having only one meaning. Hence, the meaning and the strategy need not be made supplementary to the kalima, as its meaning is only one. The view that kalima has more than one meaning are blatant lies, as it directly opposes the Quran, Hathees and our common sense. Let us analyze it from a different angle. In Ayah 62-2, to the Ummis a Rasul was sent amongst them, says Allah. The apostle thus sent to the Ummis could not read or write. The greatest opposition came from his enemy Abu Jahil. Abu Jahil means the father of fools. Thus Abu Jahil, the father of fools, looks at Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and exclaims, Ya Muhammad, we have not made you a liar, we only see what you have brought forth as lies. Hathees, surely we have not made you a liar, but that you brought as lies, said Abu Jahil. Reported by Ali, Rahmatullah, Authority, Tirmidhi. Now think. The father of fools Abu Jahil understood the kalima very clearly. He found this opposing his beliefs and hence classified it as lies. This prompted him to oppose the Prophet, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, of bringing false ideas. Thus even the fools were able to comprehend the meaning of kalima and express their opposition to it. Hence how could this kalima that was expostulated to the Ummis, who had in their ranks even fools, be said to have many meanings, that would be understood by only the knowledgeable and Allah? This cannot be so. That is to say, the kalima cannot have many meanings. It is definite that the kalima has only one meaning, and that could be mukmath. This single meaning could be easily grasped by the ordinary man or Ummis. The graduates who have obtained higher ordinations, some of them, oppose it without giving an inkling of thought. How could we refer to them as ulamas? We can only class them as graduated fools. There are many who had lost their knowledge by education. There seems to be many other doubts and queries arising regarding this matter in many ways. They are as follows. 1. Taking that kalima has one meaning, what harm is there if we make use of many meanings to explain it to one depending on his level of knowledge? 2. In the process of making people who believe in the multiplicity of idols, why not compel them to first accept the belief in one God and then express the truth stepwise, and then finally guide them in a straight path by expressing kalima with many meanings? 3. Would such high dignitaries of yesteryears be ignorant of this truth in kalima? 4. As Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said to speak to people at the level of their knowledge, why shouldn't we educate them with many meanings of kalima, considering their knowledge as done by their ancestors? What wrong is there? Such doubts arise in our minds. In this matter there are matters that are directly opposed to Tawhid. We must first imprint the above doubts in our minds for us to clear them. Let us clearly understand this. We must imprint in mind what is exposed in volumes. It is then that we could rid our doubts inculcated in our minds. Section 3. If our ancestors were correct in their interpretation, Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, could have imagined the very many meanings for the kalima, and in doing so, would have obtained the acceptance of all the people in the Dark Ages. Without doing so, Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, preached the kalima to the people in want of knowledge, ignorant, in a clear and easily understandable language, and in the process had to bear the wrath of the populace. Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, was branded as a madman and a fool by these very people. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was sent down to this world, dunya, to express the kalima and explain the tawhid so as to guide them in the correct path. His full time was spent in explaining tawhid to those who were ignorant of it. Hence his sole mission was this, and none can deny it, nor could one say that he did not complete his responsibility. History too is a witness to this fact. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam have at no time, or to anybody, for whatsoever the reason, did not say that kalima has many meanings directly, secretly or allegorically. There is no evidence either in the Quran or the Hathees to support the contention of kalima having more than one meaning. I will never speak anything against the Quran. If you seem to feel that I have done so, then disregard my words and follow the Quran, said the Prophet. It is the same Prophet who voiced the ayah 3-7. This ayah says kalima has only one meaning. Would Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam oppose it? Would he have given many meanings to kalima? Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who said not to debate on the Quran for that would amount to kufr, would he have spoken against the Quran? Would he have recited the 5 kalima? Hathees unnecessary debates on the Quran is compulsorily banned, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Abu Hurairah, authority, Abu Dawud, Rahmatullah. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 10, verse 17, who doth more wrong than such as forge lie against God, or deny his signs. But never will prosper those who sin. I have discussed this extensively under the caption A What is Shirk and Clearance of Doubts? And cleared the many doubts in a manner your knowledge would accept. You who possess a moderate knowledge would find it difficult, so proceed patiently. I cannot do anything to you who is stubborn in saying that you will accept only the expositions of your ancestors and imams, and not accept the clearly explained, transparent muhkamu type of sentence giving the kalima as having only one meaning. But my imam is the Quran. There is a Hathees reported by Abu Samith al-Coterie, Rahmatullah, under the authority of Thermothy, saying that people's fear would not prevent anybody saying the truth if he would have understood it as truth. The length of the Hathees is too long for this small booklet. Hathees, those who showed opposition excluded, the rest will attain paradise, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. His companions wanted him to identify those who showed opposition. Whoever who follows would enter paradise. Whoever who follows me would enter paradise, and whoever who opposes me would surely be prevented, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Abu Hurairah, Rahmatullah, authority, Buhari, who opposes and rejects. Think it by yourself. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 25, verse 52. Therefore listen not to the unbelievers, but strive against them with the utmost strenuousness, with the Quran. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 18, verse 54, we have explained in detail in this Quran, for the benefit of mankind, every kind of similitude, but man is, in most things, contentious. When the truth is this, we in the madrasas from the very inception teach that there exists 5 kalimas, and the kalima that has one meaning is taught of as having 5 meanings. Islam's beginning is taught in this form. I feel the responsible teachers tutoring the students in the madrasas, socially respected persons, the graduated students, have not given serious thought to this aspect. The curriculum employed in the madrasas too have not been formulated according to Quran, Hathees and common sense. The education tutored from generation to generation is unchanged, and blind following exists today. It is not taught with the basic truth. There is no mention of the existence of 5 Kalima in the Quran or Hathees, but the students are taught with the basic stand that Kalima has many meanings. How could such a student accept the authentic truth? How could he expostulate truth? This matter has many facts and nuances. We will delve with it at the appropriate time and place. Hathees, surely Allah protects you from 3 things. First, your Prophet will not curse you to death and destruction. Second, Allah will not allow the liars to overcome the truthful. Third, waywardness will not join all of you together. Reported by Abu Mulak al-Azhari, Rahmatullah, Authority, Tirmidhi. There are many nuances that would be dealt with later. Hathees, a lady questioned Abu Bakr, Rahmatullah, as to how long after the age of ignorance will our life exist. He responded by saying, until the time your imams be genuine and devoted. She then asked, who are these imams? To which he responded by asking, art there amongst your community persons who would enact laws and make you follow it? They are the ones. Reported by Qais ibn Ubayy Ashid, Rahmatullah, Authority, Buhari. Hence, even if a religious guides Abu Hanifa, Rahmatullah, Shafi, Hanbali and Maliki and the like imams state that kalima has many meanings, it is one that has to be opposed. None have confirmed that imams said so. Even if they have done so, it is only their ignorance and mistake. This is because even though recognized as imams, they are not infallible. They are also like us. It is human to err. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam too has made mistakes in worldly life. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 47, verse 19, Know, therefore, that there is no ilah but God, and ask forgiveness for thy fault, and for the man and woman who believed, for God knows how you move about and how you dwell in your homes. Whatever the mistake, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam too made mistakes is what this ayah talks about. If there are no mistakes, then we cannot call him Kamil. Hathees, the people of Medina were pairing the male and female flower sheath of date palms. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam inquired as to what they were doing. They answered that they were performing what they normally perform. Hearing this, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam told them to desist from doing so. They followed his advice. Due to this, the date palms did not bear fruits. When Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam was informed of this, he told them that they should follow whatever is ordered by him that concerns their religion. But it is not necessary to follow his advice, as he is also a human, said Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Follow your conscience and act accordingly. Reported by Ibn Kathij, Rahmatullah, Authority, Muslim. There are many other Hathees of this nature, but this would suffice. Kathamun Nabi Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam himself has made mistakes. His advice too has been erroneous, hence what prevents the ordinary men like imams fearing political environment of his time, in the hope of saving their own lives, may have adopted the ruse that the kalima has many meanings. It could be in respect to Prophet pleading that the expostulations must be on par with the level of the knowledge of the recipients. They may have expressed meanings according to their own wamu. Even some men of knowledge at present, as the Hathees reiterates, that descriptions must be comprehensive to the recipient, are of the view that it is best to take the stand that kalima has many meanings. Hence, let us examine these Hathees. Hathees, every statement made that is comprehensible to the listener will only cause disturbance to the listener. Hathees speak what could be understood by the people and do not speak what they do not understand. Do not make us and Allah liars. Hathees, we the Anbiyas have been taught to speak to people considering their level of knowledge. Hathees, every news that cannot be comprehended by a crowd would only become a danger to the speaker. Do analyze the above Hathees with a clear common sense. All these Hathees only state to express in the language that could be understood by the common man, in a manner that can be understood, in a style and mode that would be compatible to the people. It does not say anything else. None of the Hathees states that, as the men are lacking in knowledge, the truths must be distorted or blacked out. But our discordant knowledge, Wamu, believes that it must be distorted and concealed. As it is stated that the news that cannot be understood would only create disturbance, fitna, and as people are ignorant of the meaning of kalima, we try to teach many meanings to kalima and try to hide genuine facts. This is the work of our discordant mind. This discordant mind believes that by preventing disturbance and for the preservation of security to the people, distortion of truth is correct and acceptable. The very same Hathees also says not to make liars of Allah and Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Hence the matters where distortion of truth and expostulation of revelations to the people considering their level of knowledge does not refer to this, is the inference drawn by our common sense. We should not forget the fact that the very Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who gave the above Hathees, did, without taking into consideration the protection and security of the people, express publicly, openly and transparently the common truths of the matter, excluding the secrets of kalima. It is also an open secret that Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, did take to the sword to force people towards accepting the truth of kalima which they understood but refused to believe in it. Hathees, I have been commanded to by Allah to go to war, feasible, against the people until they believed in and bear witness that except Allah, there is no Allah, perform prayers and give zakah. If they do all these, they would save their souls and wealth even from me. Accept the duties of Islam, their account is with Allah, said Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, reported by Abdullah ibn Umar, Rahmatullah, authority, Bukhari Muslim. Hence, it is mere imagination and an illusion that the truth had to be distorted and misconceived for the sole protection and security of the people of that time. If it is distorted or misconceived, all of them till the last day would be treading the wrong path. It amounts to killing thousands of people in need for the sake of saving one man who is not in need. Hence, how could sending millions of people towards darkness be justified just to protect and give security for the fear of ignorant folks of the prevalent times? Hence, whenever the truth of the Hathees revealed by Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, is expressed, there would be disturbance and mayhem among the ignorant people who are unable to comprehend the truth. The person who expresses the truth will also undergo tremendous hardship, an indisputable experience Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, himself had in his lifetime. Therefore warnings have been in the Hathees that using compatible clear devices, in a language that could be understood by the recipients, facts must be told without distortion so as not to make Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Allah liars. Failing in this would only bring us to face greater difficulties. Without using one's common sense to become aware of this, exceeding the people's protection and security as a reason to hide the truth amounts to the imagination or illusion of Wamu. Hathees, let one who indulges in extolling only the language leaving the essence be cursed, said Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, repeating it 3 times over. Reported by Ibn Mas'ud, Rahmatullah, authority, Muslim Abu Dawud. Section 4. None, Muslims, means, any man or woman, and even Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, has no right to hold an opinion opposed to Quran. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 33, verse 36, it is not fitting for a believer, man or woman, when a matter has been decided by God and His Apostle, to have any option about their decision. If anyone disobeys God and His Apostle, he is indeed in a clearly wrong path. Therefore, the pioneer Imams, especially the first ever Imam Hanafi, was purported to have expressed the view that the kalima has many meanings. If so, then we cannot accept him as our Imam on this viewpoint. This is because the name Hanif itself means the believer in truth. Abu Hanifa means the father of the believers in truth, or father of believers, which is most authentic. The Quran is the most authentic, genuine one, as it is the Word of God. Hence, instead of accepting the genuine Quran, viewing the kalima as a muhkamat type of sentence having only one meaning, accepting a view that says kalima having many meanings cannot be said to carry the name of Hanifa, the father of believers. What supporting evidence we have to identify that the Abu Hanifa that Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam announced is this Numan sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Hence, it is clear that the Imams who formulated the Shafi, Hanafi, Hanbali and Maliki madhabs are the authors of the view of kalima having many meanings. Although this may be the truth, it is their wamu and blind following. Hathees, repeated, O God, show the straight path and pardon the sins committed by the Imams, recited a dua. This dua was recited by Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then how could we find evidence to support that the Imams can do no wrong? It was during the Imams that lies and falsehood made inroads into the minds of men. According to al-Hathees reported by Murthath, Rahmatullah, they says the best of times were Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, an era after it and another after the latter era. Falsehood and lies will take over after it. If so, the true Iman and the Islam existed in its purest form only for a period of 30 years. After this period, Islam and its basic fundamentals Tawhid gradually got distorted and misconceived to a degree that made believe shirk as Tawhid and vice versa. The analysts who would delve into it fully will know of it. More than 70 madhabs and imams have appeared and disappeared, only 4 remain. Abu Hanifa, who was called Numan ibn Thabit, Rahmatullah's period was Hijri 8150. The Imam of the second madhab was Malik, whose period was Hijri 95-179. The third madhab was Shafi 150-204, and the last one was of madhab Hanbal 164-241. If we analyze the 4 madhabs and the Imams who formulated in a clear and transparent manner, in the matter of kalima they have blindly followed one another. One cannot forget that these Imams, though making a few mistakes, have done stupendous service to the common folk that needs praise. It is therefore very apt to elevate all of them to a position of very high respect and importance and dignity, and at the same time clear off their mistakes from their actions. They are human and not infallible. Hathees, be grateful to the good deeds of those of you deceased. Take no notice of their misdeeds, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Ammar, Rahmatullah, authority, Abu Dawood. Hussein Hilmi Isk and many others have in their kitab stated that Abu Hanifa, Rahmatullah, has stated that if you witness evidence on any matter contrary to what is recited by me, shun my words and embrace it. Hence, when we evidence the truth, accepting what is contrary to truth is sheer ignorance. In this context, if you think that I am blaming the renowned intellectuals, it is your misconception and not a fault of mine, because when the truth is elucidated, accepting what is not true is justified, and not intended to cause insult or injury to any person. Hathees, I fear most the other Dajjals and the Dajjal who will appear during the last days, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. On hearing this, Sahabas inquired who these Dajjals were. He responded by saying that they are those who push towards waywardness or wrong path. Imam Ghali has described this in his treatise Al-Mufliheen, repeated. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 7, verse 30, some he hath guided, others have, by their choice, deserved the loss of their way, and that they took the evil ones, in preference to God, their friends and protectors, and think that they have received guidance. An author of a khutbah, or a person who gives commentaries on religion, is believed as an alias, Allah, if he is well versed in Arabic, obtained honor and praise, and performs difficult amals and sports a long beard and wears a large headgear. If this person guides them in a path, his believers accept and follow that path and accept that path as the only genuine and true path. They are ignorant that their path completely opposes the path of guidance as shown by the Quran. This, they do because the people believe in their tutor to be an aliyah, Allah, and care none for other matters of importance, nor do they give their thought to it. The God's religion Islam consider them as shaitan. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 2, verse 217, tumult and oppression are worse than slaughter. Except for a minuscule, many knowledgeable and much respected men of learning carry on their religious pursuits without any thought of present, future, or the past times, follow blindly the explanations underlying the principles of Islam. As stated before, do observe, query, think and get a clear view of the Quran after removing the veils of traditional practices, book knowledge and arrogance. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 2, verse 171, the parable of those who reject faith is as if one were to follow like a goat herd, to things that listen to nothing but calls and cries, deaf, dumb and blind. They are void of wisdom. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 2, verse 42, and cover not truth with falsehood, nor conceal the truth you know. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 2, verse 78, and there are among illiterates, who know not the book, but see therein their own desires, and they do nothing but conjecture. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 7, verse 179, many are the jinns and men we have made for hell. They have hearts wherewith they understand not, eyes wherewith they see not, and ears wherewith they hear not. They are like cattle, nay misguided, for they are heedless of warning. They who disregard the Quran. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 38, verse 29, here is the book which we have sent down unto thee, full of blessings, that they may meditate on its signs, and that men of understanding may receive admonition. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 54, verse 17, and we have indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then, is there any that will receive admonition? Al-Quran, Surah chapter 47, verse 24, do they not earnestly seek to understand the Quran, or their hearts locked up by them? Al-Quran, Surah chapter 25, verse 44, or think thou that most of them understand? They are only like cattle, nay they are astray in path. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 30, verse 58, verily, we have propounded for men, in the Quran every kind of parables, but if thou bring to them any signs, the unbelievers are sure to say, you do nothing but take vanities. Hathees Nabi, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, asked Murthath, Al-Quran, Surah chapter 14, verse 24, who was detailed to go into Yemen, if you are asked to judge cases brought to you, how will you do it? Murthath replied, by Allah's sacred book. Rasul, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, continued, if you have not come across it, then how? Murthath replied, by the lifestyle of Allah's apostle. Rasul, Sallallahu alayhi wasallam, queried, "If it is not in the lifestyle of the Apostle, then how?" Murthath replied, "I will use my own analysis and pass judgment. I will analyze it fully and completely." On hearing this, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam tapped Murthath rahmatullah on his chest and exclaimed, "All praise be to Allah. It is He who has satisfied Allah's apostle through Allah's apostle's messenger and blessed him." Gathered it from Murthath rahmatullah, reported by Hathees ibn Amr rahmatullah, authority, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawud Hathees. I fear of the injustice of the kings and that my Ummah will, without accepting Allah's kalam, Quran, place their belief in imagination, vain belief, believe or have iman on horoscopes, the three matters after my demise. Imam Ghali has given a commentary on this Hathees in his Section 5. There are still many other Hathees and Quranic ayahs in support, but these would suffice. If you place common sense as a priority, then use it to clear your doubts. Many among us, at present, have not read, analyzed and inferred the truth and clear themselves of the Quran that was revealed 1,400 years ago. It contains the present and future matters concerning every aspect, and explains and instructs us as to how we have to follow it. All worldly matters could easily be understood by the usage of our external senses. In case of spiritual matters, it is not as easy as some think. Insan is destined to climb without his nafs and the power of reasoning to the world of Malakith. These details will stun the common man, may disorientate him with subtle nuances and complex ideas. If the climb is not completed, man cannot attain his self-fulfillment. The basis of this climb and reaching the apex has to begin from acting, understanding, accepting and believing in Tawhid Kalima. Therefore, if we completely distort Kalima, our climb will never reach the summit and our quest will not succeed. Hathees Allah created knowledge and ordered it to come forward. It came in front. He ordered it to go back, it did so. He then said, "I have not created anything as pleasant as you, I will only get you be carried by those who are most excellent," said Allah. This was stated by Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, as having been told by Allah. Reported by Ibn Mas'ud rahmatullah, authority, Rajin. Man climbing up from one stage to another is only by knowledge and not by worship. Worship becomes useful only when knowledge is used. The only true knowledge is bounded by Kalima's explanation, the Tawhid. If a person does not know, understand clearly, accept and believe in Kalima's description and gets himself stabilized in Tawhid, then he would never become an Insan and cannot be called one. This is because the word Insan is from the basic word Ayunsiyat and is a noun of action. Hence Insan means one who converses with the Creator. The conversation here refers to know, understand and comprehend the Tawhid and get stabilized in its belief. Hence, until a person, whatever his position in society may be, he must know, understand, accept and believe in Kalima's description and get stabilized in it for him to be called an Insan. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 8, verse 22, "For the worst of beasts in the sight of God are deaf, those who cannot understand the truth, and the dumb, those who understand, but cannot express the truth," says the Quran. It explains that when it is not known that one is a deaf and you cannot seek anything, you must seek one who can explain. The people who have got entangled in worldly affairs cannot provide accurate information about the fortunes of Kalima that is reinforced by the divine verses of the Holy Quran and Hathees to attain a state of fullness. Those who are involved in these worldly affairs can provide external information on worldly affairs and rules and regulations on fiqh. However, those who can explain the truth in Akira and guide the man to attain fullness are the experienced ulamas, the true servants. They are the renowned men of eminence, the ulamas known as al-Hathees, who proclaim the genuine truth. You do not be deceived by the ignorant crowd sporting a beard, believing them to be that bleak who follow the leader's path, as similar to the firstborn sheep that is followed by the herd without any thoughts, analytical knowledge and research, not knowing where they are heading to. One group in the name of Islam project prayers as a shield and drown the people into darkness, hence this group can be called the bleak who proclaim ignorance among the people. When a few intellectuals with academic qualifications proclaim that kalima has a multiple of meanings and there are 5 kalimas and guide us as against the Quran and Hathees, the people who are similar to the herd of sheep think with your common sense. What and how would they impart? Don't be deceived that the symbolic features of the group that impart knowledge are the headgear, beard and attire. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 2, verse 44. You recite prayers, forget yourself and ask the men to perform good deeds. Should you not know now? Hathees, the true spirituality is to know and comprehend the true untainted meaning of the Quran ayah, Muhammad. The Hathees that could stand the test of time till the last day and the compulsory religious virtues, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is why I am repeatedly expressing that you must grasp your common sense, the Quran and the Hathees in matters concerning Iman and Tawhid, as these are the only ones that contains the authentic complements. After discovering the authentic truth, lay hands on kitabs that have discovered the actual truth, books, songs, bayaths and the commentary of the devout followers. Do reject anything written or expressed by even by people recognized as the Most High Sultan al-Arifin that opposes the Quran, Hathees and your common sense. Let not his symbols or his play acting enthrall you in believing him. One who does not accept Quran, Hathees or speaks against it, even if he prays 100 rakats a day, he would always be considered a follower of Shaitan. Do not be denied of your benefits in Akira by wasting your time in blind beliefs. Accept only the Quran as your Imam, Rasul, Ustad, your mother and father. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 2, verse 79, Then woe to those who write the book with their own hands and then say, this is from God. To traffic with it for a miserable price, woe to them for what their hands do write, and for the gain they make thereby. In addition to the Quran, there are 2 other sources in Islam. They are Ijma and Qiyas. Ijma means the unanimous view of the learned. The Ijma is used at present, even though we imagine it to be unanimous, the actual truth of the learned is otherwise. Ijma has few definitions. I have described it in the form of question and answer under the chapter A, Clearing Doubts. One fact that must be borne in mind is that Ijma and Qiyas seem to provide matters much in contrast to the authentic truth. Hence it is very necessary and compulsory to know clearly the real meaning of Ijma and Qiyas before comparing it with Quran and Hathees. In ignorance of this, it is not appropriate for the common man of today to accept Ijma and Qiyas. The truth behind Ijma and Qiyas is different. Let us learn it patiently. It is to confirm and stabilize the authentic truth that the Creator and Rasul formulated laws. Quran, Hathees, Ijma, and Qiyas belong to this group. How could we discover the authentic truth when the truth is traded as the laws enacted by man's wamu, that is discordant knowledge? It could only be classed as terrorist activity to bring victory to a party. Today, in our country, many people and ulamas in want of knowledge adopt the usage of Ijma that is unanimous, but all are not the authentic Ijma. It is a unanimous decision of the wayward few. I will delve with it in detail in another place. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 23, Verse 71, if the truth had been in accordance with their desires, truly the heavens and the earth and all beings therein would have been in confusion and corruption. Hathees do give full and devoted interest to this Quran. It is because I swear on the hand of the person who has Muhammad's life that like a camel running away from its ropes that tethers him. This Quran, too, will run away from the heart and minds of the people, said Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Reported by Abu Musa, Rahmatullah, Authority, Bukhari, Muslim. As stated previously, according to Ayah 33 hours 36 minutes, that whatever Allah and His Apostle commanded cannot be negated by any man or woman with Emman. If this is true, then kalima having only one meaning according to Quran and Hathees, if contested by saying it has 4 or more meanings, would they who say so be learned or true believers? The unanimous view that opposes Quran and Hathees cannot be accepted as Jama'ah. Al-Quran, Surah chapter 34, verse 48-49. Say, verily my Lord doth cast the mantle of truth over his servants. He has full knowledge of all that is hidden. Say, the truth has arrived and falsehood neither creates anything new, nor restores anything. Note, you could question that in Quran there is stated Kalimath Thaiba and Kalimath Kabisha. How could you say there is only one kalima? The response would be in 1424 ayah, the Creator describes Kalimath Thaiba. Thaiba means smell, pure. When it is distorted, and as its meaning turned upside down, the kalima becomes nauseating, erroneous and evil kalima. It is this kalima that is referred to in Ayah 24:26 and called Kalimath al-Kabisha. Hence, the kalima is distorted or turned upside down, it becomes evil and erroneous. And as such, there are no two kalimas, the pure and authentic kalima is the one and only kalima thaiba. By the method of following from the past, our ancestors have formulated 5 kalimas, whereas in truth there is only one kalima. Thank you. Alhamdulillah.